You're listening to the Online Entrepreneur Experience with Jarret Jenny and John Olson, aka Cheer.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Yeah. Going good. Heck yeah. So today I wanted to talk about decision and why that's important. You made any big decisions in your life lately?
Oh yeah. I mean, life is full of decisions. Every day you wake up, you have a decision. You can either get shit done or you can, hang out and wish that you would get shit done. I'm actually in the process of getting ready to move. So I guess that's kind of a big decision.
Oh, absolutely. Selling your house, moving to the next chapter in your life. That's massive, man. Are you like scared at all, or is it just kind of like, I'm just
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm excited, but everything that you care about, anything that's important to you, you're going to be scared a little bit because it's important, right? I mean, we went over that. We touched on that last week a little bit with, I was talking about my Taekwondo students when they have their tests and they're nervous. And I say, well, that's good. It just means you care about it. If you showed up and you weren't nervous at all, I'd know you don't give a shit, So decisions, the key to decisions, I think, is you make a decision and then you got to stick to it. Successful people, you make the decision pretty quickly, and then it takes a lot for you to change your mind. You don't want to be doing the whole flip-flop game. Make a decision, stick to it, and if you have to change, you're really going to consider why.
Yeah, that's huge, man. You hit it right on the head. Like, I was just going to say, successful people, they make decisions really fast and change them very slowly, because you have to kind of ride the waves of your decision before you can really switch to a different wave. I see it in Walmart all the time. You see these people with shopping carts, they go into one aisle and then they quickly back up and go into the next aisle.
Yeah.
And then I still get out faster than them.
Yeah, because they're indecisive, and it's part of today's, this is probably like a year ago that we talked about this last, but we live in a throwaway society. Everyone, one example with my automotive channel and my business in that, I was looking for this carpet cleaner, right? This one that I really wanted, but it was pretty expensive. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait and, watch a few reviews and do some of this stuff. And I was walking my dog and I saw one on the curb. I'm like, what the hell? Like the exact one that I wanted. And I was like, I'm going to take this home and see if it works. So I took it back and I plugged it in and it fired up, but it wouldn't work. It was leaking water. So I unscrewed the cap. There was a $2 freaking seal that was leaking. I went on Amazon, ordered one for $2, and I have a couple $100 carpet cleaner because someone just, it doesn't work, throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a throwaway society. Like, I had it's a printer, but it stopped working at my ex-employers. And they're like, we're just going to order a new one. And I was like, well, what are you going to do with the old one? They're like, I'm going to throw it away. And I was like, I'll take it, just see if I can piddle around with it, And it turned out, the back of it, you can unplug the cord. Well, that was just unplugged a little bit. Plugged it back in. And I was like, and nobody thought of this because it was already just up on the desk. They're like, we're done. We've tried everything. And I just took their word for it. Well, that was my decision to not look over their work. But
right
at the end of the day, I got I don't know, $500 printer probably. It was one of that big ones,
Right. So, and that's just, I love the example using material objects because you can visualize that easily, and that's the society we live in. But like you were in the workforce, I was in the workforce, and we still are to some degree, but we're working for ourselves. We're self-employed. And you see a lot of people that get so miserable at a job that they decide they want out, and that's great. And that is something that 90% of people will not do. 90% of people will not have the balls to actually quit and try something on their own. So that's the first step, which is huge. But the problem I see time and time again, and I have a lot of friends that start businesses and do different things, is they won't even be a year into their business and they're like, yeah, I'm looking for a job. This just isn't working. And I'm like, dude, you're in the growing pain stage. You're in the building stage. Like, you've been at it for 10 months. And I realize that 10 months seems like a long time when you're struggling. But, let's say it's 7 years down the road and you're still not showing a profit. Well, then maybe you got to figure out what you're doing wrong. But starting a business on your own is huge. I mean, it's a life-changing decision. And if you only give it 10 months, you're not giving it any time to work for you.
No. And if, well, like you said, 7 years in, you should have looked for help before then. Don't just keep struggling and be like, I want to do this on my own. That's stupid. Help. You need help from somebody that's actually done what you're trying to do if, you're struggling that much. But yeah, the decision to actually better your life that's step one. And then following through with it like you did, you quit Toyota, which I'm sure you're pissing your pants doing that, but
oh yeah,
now you're doing fine. You're moving on. You're like, you're gonna have your own shop, new one, right?
Yeah, new one.
That's huge. So congratulations on that. Not to get sidetracked, but that's a huge decision.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I still remember, and I'll probably remember it till the day I die. Going into my boss's office. I mean, I worked there for 8 years, and I was like, "Hey, I got to talk to you." He's like, "All right, what's up?" And I sat down. I'm like, "I'm done. Like 2 weeks, I'm done." And he just like, it looked like his eyeballs were gonna pop out of his head. He's like, No, you're just kidding." I'm like, "No, I'm serious." And I left, and I couldn't even like keep my hand steady. I left, and I was just like dripping sweat. And I went back to my toolbox, and my hands were shaking. And I remember standing there thinking, I got a mortgage. Did I just quit my job? Like, I remember just sitting there, and it felt like it was like 3 hours, but it was probably like a couple minutes. I just like stood at my box, and I was like, I just did that, but that therein again, like this winter was a perfect example. Like, things slow down, but you just have to adapt. You have to remember why you decided to quit in the first place, or why you decided to change. And if you don't give the change enough time to work for you, you'll always fail. You'll fail 100% of the time. I was just talking to one of my buddies. He was a phenomenal athlete growing up, phenomenal athlete. Could have got into the NFL, just decided that it wasn't worth the strain on his body. He'd had multiple surgeries and all sorts of stuff, but he went out and started a fitness program in a gym. And the message behind it, I love his whole message, and I just love the whole vendetta he has about fitness. And it's called Rise Training and Fitness, and that goes back to his Christian roots and faith, which we can get into another time. But his dad actually passed away of cancer, and it was, I mean, I was there for it. I saw his dad say goodbye like a few days before he had passed, and I remember growing up, we always said like something bad's gonna happen to him, because he wasn't like flabby, but he was huge and like super overweight and had a really short fuse. I mean, he was a great guy, but we're like, something bad's gonna happen. And so his whole goal now is to help people be fit and healthy, right? And I was just talking to him. He just had twins, a boy and a girl, about 2 months ago. And I remember for the first couple of years he started his business, he slept at his gym. Like, he slept on the couch at the office, and I called to congratulate him about the children. And he was like, dude, this is the first time that like my business is working for me. Like, for 3 years, I worked 14 hours a day to get this thing off the ground. But that's the dedication you need. If you decide after 10 months that, you're screwed.
Yep. You have to put in the work in anything you're doing. You have to put in the work and just keep pushing until you start making that momentum, because everything in life is all about deciding to do it and keep doing it and be persistent with it. Like, if I would have, jumped into DFM and, expected $1 million in 3 months, you think I'd still be with them? No, but I know for a fact that good things take time, and making the decision to actually better your life is, like I said before, step one. So,
I think
anything else to crush on this, brother?
Yeah, I think too many people think that is the only step. They just have to make a decision, and then they quit their job, and they're like, okay, bring it to me. And it's like, no, it don't work like that. You have to go out and figure it out. And the other thing is, you have to be in the right headspace. And life is pretty simple. We complicate it in here. I mean, life can suck. There's going to be, obstacles and, adversities, but 9 times out of 10, we make it more complicated. And if we can live in the present, there's no stress in the present unless you're physically being mauled or, in danger. 99.9% of your stress comes from thinking about the past or thinking about the future, and you forget what's right in front of your nose.
Absolutely, man. That's huge. That's, yeah. Like I said, I couldn't have said it better myself.
And I think that was our message we wanted to bring today was, you make a decision, you have to stick to it and give yourself a chance. It's not just the decision being made that's going to make you successful. It's, you see this, we talk about the peak of the iceberg, this little thing up here didn't sink the Titanic. It was this big thing down here, right? Same thing with your goals, same thing with your success. You're going to think about this much of it at the top of the mountain, but you need to build this whole base. And a lot of times people don't see that. They don't see the work that's put in behind the scenes. Even this podcast, we do this once a week and people see this and that's all they see of us. They don't see anything else that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's bigger than what you see in life. It always is.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. And remember, subscribe, leave a comment, because one of the lucky people when we hit 2,500 subscribers is getting a $100 Amazon gift card for free. We're just going to pick one comment and give it to you guys. So if you want that $100, get that money, subscribe and like our channel and follow us.
Sounds good, man. Well, always a pleasure, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. See you next week, man.
Thanks for tuning into the Online Entrepreneur Experience. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that we're releasing and any of these amazing pieces of value that we're giving out. And if you could take the time out of your day and leave us a review, we would be so grateful. We look forward to seeing you on that next episode.